What's up, you guys? Hope you guys are doing awesome. So, finally back at it again with recording videos. So, sorry for a delay. My computer kind of got malfunctioned for a little bit, or its software got corrupted. But all that matters is that we're back. So let's get into it. So we're gonna be discussing topics on CryptoBlades, like what's going on, along with the future release of CryptoBlades Kingdoms and its various features. So before we get into all that, just realize that this is all speculation. Don't invest more than what you can lose. Assume that you will lose everything and you won't get rich quick, as crypto is super risky. Okay, right? So let's get into what's happening right now. So first, they got a bunch of investors. They have around 4 million invested as of now, and it's still growing. So they got big brands like Animoca Brands, Anchor, Binance Smart Chain News, and etc. So this is a very good sign, as due to these many big investors, there's a less chance of a rug pull happening. So it's almost close to zero now. So that's really good. Next off, the ecosystem is already deployed. There's cheaper gas fees, and it seems that there are more users on there, which increases the rewards paid out. So I've seen around 20 to 30 cents average of profits, and then people tend to alternate hours, I think, or that's what I saw from the chat. I don't personally use it, but that's just something I've seen. Next up, they're having the token release for private sales on tomorrow, I believe, Tuesday. Then Wednesday's the public one with CeDeFi holders, along with the land sale, supposedly around October 13th, but I'm not too sure about that date. So there are a lot of things going on right now. So I'll also discuss my game plan moving forward near the end of the video, but let's talk about the CryptoBlades Kingdom game itself from the information we can pull from the website. Alright, so for land, there are 3 tires to be purchased. The first one's like a random place in any random area. I believe it was 5,000 times 5,000, right? So 25 million lands total, and I'm not sure about the amount of lands that can be bought. I believe there are a lot of lands that can be fought over for. So the second one is you can choose the general location, but you can't really choose where within a random chunk. And the third one is it has the highest stats, and there's only 1 per chunk. So I guess that could be risky, where if you don't have as many allies in your guild around you, people are going to target you a lot for your resources. But we'll see how it all plays out. Maybe you could make friends of the people around your area. Then for resources, there is stone, wood, clay to build your villages, recruit armies. There's also silver, which decreases the lag time to build your buildings. It decreases the amount of time to recruit units, to support a fellow guild member that's getting attacked, and stuff like that. So I guess it's more like a catalyst, like speed up thing. Then for buildings, all villages gain resources over time depending on their generators. Like they have stone mines, clay pits, forest camps for the resources mentioned above. And then the combination of those creates a public score which people can view, so they can choose to raid you if you have a high public score or something, or have a small one. And then for the town hall, that's where new upgrades will be managed. So then it needs to be the same level as the building trying to be upgraded. So you have to probably constantly upgrade this building. Then headquarters, where you can view all your CryptoBlades heroes. Barracks for recruiting your army. Stone mine, clay pits, forests, as mentioned before, for creating stone, clay, and wood. And church, this one's an interesting one, where it's how the kingdom expands, where you create missionaries, and then training takes 3 days, so it takes a very long time to create them, and then you send them to unoccupied land and you claim it. However, I believe you can probably still get raided and have your land taken over. So I assume a route to overcome this is to make multiple vaults to create several missionaries. However, at the same time, I believe the game is very time and effort intensive, so maybe it will take a lot of time and energy if you want to have multiple accounts. Then storehouse, it's where your resources are stored and spent. And then Smithy reduces the build time of other buildings, so I guess it's another catalyst besides the silver too. It also increases your offensive capabilities when you're attacking other villages. Rally point is where you can issue commands for attack and support, so you can also cancel any attacks, but it takes time for your army to come back to your village, which could be wasted. Then farm increases your capability to recruit people. Hidden stash is if someone attacks your village and then maybe you lose, so maybe you could save a part of your resources if you have your hidden stash built up. There's the wall, which increases your defensive capabilities of your military units while you're getting attacked. And there's the market where you can interact with other players to trade, buy, and sell. For gameplay, so you can raid other villages besides your own PvE, which I'm assuming is for dungeon and maybe other AI villages. You can form guilds to grow your land, so maybe it's for the land surrounding you. Then guild incentives. By being in a guild, you have access to exclusive dungeons and different drops. You can collab on raids to finish the raid easier, and you can get support from other guilds. You're getting attacked, so maybe when you're getting attacked, you send a message to your guild and then they come support you. Then more leveled characters from CryptoBlades, better weapons and shields will increase the stats of the armies you create from villages. So for now, it could be a great time to swoop up some level 41s, 51s, or whatever higher levels. And maybe if you're really into it, you can level up your characters on Hiko 2 to kind of get some profit while leveling up your characters to prepare for CryptoBlades Kingdom. So a cool feature is that more hostile lands, which you'll have to fight over more, will earn more. So this will emphasize guilds, as the stronger your guilds are, the more lands you can take over to earn more. There are different army characters, so Bruiser, which is strength fire, Mage for intelligence water, Archer for dexterity nerf, Paladin for charisma lightning, and Mercenary representing power, very similar to CryptoBlades. And same advantages too, like Archer will be stronger against Paladin, which is like Earth to Thunder. There's also the option to burn villages, so you can gain silver, so you send your missionary to one of your own villages to burn them. So I'm assuming you can't burn others, so maybe this is more like a deflationary effect where people will continuously burn the villages and then the villages become more valuable over time. For traveling, it takes 6 hours to travel from one end of the trunk to another, so I guess this is to compensate people for staying around the area, I believe. So I'm not too sure how this will turn out, so we'll see how it goes. Then 120-ish hours to travel perfectly from one corner to another. I mean, you're probably going to encounter a bunch of people. I'm not sure whether there's going to be like stamina or like food effect going from there, so maybe it just limits your speed in which you can go. Maybe silver can speed you up too. And then when you traverse within your chunk, it's half the time, so they're really emphasizing and staying within your chunk. So I'm not really sure how that's going to happen. Maybe it'll create some portal effects where you can get instantly transported to another place for a certain amount of silver or something, but we'll see. Alright, next off we got combat. So you send one CryptoBlades hero and a certain number of troops from your village to attack another one, and then your total attack is your smithy building plus the total attack of your attacker versus the total defense of the defending army plus their wall building bonus. And then if other villages want to support, like other guild members want to support you, the damage is, I'm not too sure about this, it's dispersed randomly throughout your total armies, so I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. And if the attacking army is successful, each living member of the army takes up to 5 resources of any random type, maybe wood or stone and stuff, clay, and then the attacking army walks back home, and then they deliver resources whatever amount of time it takes to return. And for guilds, it's limited to 50 players as of now, so it's not village count, so you can have as many villages as you want within it. 3 settings: open, invite only, request, closed. You got your leader, your moderators, then your members, and then basic. I'm not too sure who would want to be basic. Maybe there's like a certain amount of people that are required to be each one. So I'm assuming that joining nearby guilds will be most favorable, as you can defend your other guild members a lot easier, and then you can take control of an area a lot easier. And you got different boards to let each other know what's going on for resources, dungeons, defending, attacking, status board, etc. Then for dungeons, you can be rewarded with stone, wood, clays, keys to other dungeons, and king too, which is pretty dope. And then dungeons rotate between 4 to 40, which I'm assuming more is more reward, and it'll probably be harder. And then it can be done solo or with your guild. However, they're really emphasizing that guild aspect. Players can commit their armies from their villages, CryptoBlades heroes, and up to 50 weapons, which is insane. So I'm guessing you can have a bunch of weapons. However, I'm pretty curious to see how this plays out. Maybe there's like a big balance or something, because right now there's a price discrepancy where 3 stars are like super cheap, and then 4 stars are somewhat cheap, and 5 stars are more expensive. So I'm curious to see if there's like a route where people just get like 50 3-star weapons, or maybe they'll reward people who get more 4 or 5-star weapons. So we'll see. Then difficulty from 1 to 3, which will coincide with time too, and then some required keys to unlock. So they have higher rewards, and those will be the longest. So their difficulty will be 4. There's also daily quests, which you can earn more king. So you can earn king, clay, stone, and wood for doing at least 3 out of 5. This includes upgrading one of your buildings, sending an attack to somewhere, exploring a dungeon, conquering a land, and exploring a specific dungeon. So this makes sense to do for your guilds. So they're really emphasizing guilds here, guys. And guild quests, you can earn from that too, where you attack a dungeon with 2 more guild members, support a guild member while they're getting attacked. So let's talk about the king token a little bit. 5% will be burned, whichever is spent in the game for each transaction. I believe there's a 1 billion king supply, and so I'm guessing the price will be a lot lower, or depending on how much people are valuing it. The costs for king include upgrading a village, sending attack and support, claiming a new village, canceling anything, nicknaming your wallet. They also have a kind of like a scholar system, which they nicknamed babysitting, so other players can watch villages on their behalf and sell resources on their behalf, which is pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to doing a little babysitting too, or hiring other people too to do that. And I believe once CryptoBlades will be released, influencers will pump this like crazy. So not financial advice, but I recommend getting it in either on the initial releases or pre-releases. Maybe if they say that skill will give a discount for king, that'd be awesome to get into that. Or if not, you wait until the game releases. They'll probably have a lot of hype going up. It'll probably shoot up a lot. Well, wait, maybe it takes several weeks or even a month or 2 to get in on a dip, and then that'll be perfect instead of just buying near the peak. Alright, so here's the game plan, okay? So for me personally, I'm trying to accumulate a bunch of tier 3 lands, or a bunch of lands surrounding a certain chunk. Wrote that in, so tier 2, maybe within a chunk, that'd be awesome. And then to build a strong guild with other people around that chunk, so that we can take over other people too, and then rate them, accumulate a bunch of 4 to 5-star weapons for that dungeon bonus, and then for 41 plus characters to get even more benefits from raiding and defending. So I'm just gonna slowly DC characters and weapons from CryptoBlades right now. I'm not gonna really play it as of now, since I'm not willing to go on Hiko just yet. I want to transfer my characters and not really buy new ones. And then in the future, hire scholars to babysit whenever I'm not actively playing the game. So let me know if any of you guys are interested in playing the game, if you have any experience in any of these strategy type of games. And then to also just change the game plan once I actually play the game, which will come out next year, I believe. So maybe focusing on building a defensive wall right now to protect the village once you start the game, maybe to claim a bunch of lands quickly, missionary guilds, etc., to really form that guild squad, going through dungeons, defending each other's villages, just taking over those chunks of areas, and then just invading other people too who aren't in guilds. So here's a link in the document if you want to go through it yourself. So thank you guys for watching. Free to leave a like, comment, whatever you think of CryptoBlades right now, what other gaming opportunities you see in the space, and if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And here are other ways to support the channel. You can go through these if you want. And yeah, so most importantly, these videos are for entertainment purposes. These are not recommendations. I'm not a licensed professional. The best investments are the ones where you have the greatest conviction by doing your own research. So by doing your own research, you'll really believe in it, as survival in the crypto game is the key to success, right? So holding that long-term portfolio, okay? So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and talk to y'all next time.